I think Pepe's so coachable.
Wow, you should be in
Just need to shake him.
You should be in prison. We bailed you out. We bailed you out to come and play this season. You're out here disgracing us. You should be in prison. You facing charges.
Yes, everyone, welcome to another episode of the Final Third, or let me say, get well soon to Arsenal special on the Final Third. Yes, I'm your host today, Oluwasemilore Lavish. Some people call me Kante's cousin, but you lot just call me Shems, and just keep it simple. We've got an ever-present, ever-faithful Julie Jules.
Hello.
There we go. We've got our esteemed guest. We've got Kesh.
What's happening, people?
And we've got Chiddy, and his minions will be here soon as well, people. But yeah, perfect. Guys, like I was saying earlier, obviously conscious of the time and the match. So we've got a lot to get through. We're going to be as quick as possible. But for now, the teams just came out. Arsenal versus Wolves. Correct me if I'm wrong. We're at the Emirates. It's not the Molineux, is it?
Oh, wait.
Nah, it's away.
The Molineux. Jesus is Lord. Yeah. So we got Ramsdale, Cedric, White, Gabriel, Tierney, Partey, Xhaka, Saka, Odegaard, Martinelli, and Lacazette. Guys, is that what we expected, or are we just a bit more apprehensive? What do you think?
Pretty much, like, throughout the day, I was thinking that would be the lineup. I knew there was a concern about Tommy. That's my only worry. Having Cedric having to come in. I was more inclined to the idea of putting Ben White out there because I'm more tolerant towards the likes of Oldham getting game time than Cedric. But manager's gone for this decision, and I just have to hope that it works out and maybe we can get that one-off good game from Cedric.
Yeah, the boy's not good, man. Chiddy, what do you think?
Yeah, pretty much the same. Like,
Sorry,
I'd
Julie.
say that I can see why he'd play White at centre back rather than right back, because I noticed it against Burnley. Like when White plays right back, like he's good at right back, but like we miss a lot from him being in centre, like progressing the ball and all of that. And I feel like he probably adds a bit more putting him at right back, at centre back, and then hoping that Cedric can do a job at right back. So I feel like that's what he's probably thought about, and that's why he's gone with Cedric at right back. But our depth is a problem, though. Like, we can't be playing bums like Cedric. Like, it's a problem.
Cedric's not a baller. He's not a footballer. Real.
That guy's anti-Arsenal. Jules, what do you think about the lineup as well?
I think it's probably the best we're going to get at the moment. Well, obviously Tomiyasu, but there's literally nothing we can do because we haven't done nothing in the market. So it's literally we just got to put up with it.
Before we get into market talk, guys, did everybody see the article that this dictator Arteta said about what Aubameyang said on joining Barca? Did everyone see it, or let me just?
I've seen it. Yeah.
Can you just read it out?
Just to clarify, yeah.
I think I've probably seen it. Read out.
Yeah. So basically, Aubameyang's gone to Barca, and in the press conference, he's more or less said my issue wasn't with Arsenal, but it was with Arteta. And then Arteta more or less said he saw himself as the solution, not the problem. So he said, the way I see myself in that relationship with Aubameyang is the solution, not the problem. What I'm saying is that I've been the solution 100%. I can look in the eyes of anyone.
He's toxic.
Yeah. I feel like that's the perfect word to sum up Arteta. Before I just free the floor, let me just get my point in, because I feel Arteta's problem is, aside from tactics, you could just analyze his man management of the squad over the years he's been here, and you should be able to decipher how much of a bad manager to say he's been. Just can't manage people well. For that to be the response, and it's also just very, very defensive and insecure to a certain level. But Kesh, I'm gonna let you take this one. What did you think of what Arteta said?
I think it's easy to look at the dialogue of what he said and kind of misconstrue it. When I see the bit where he says I'm the solution, I'm more looking towards it as thinking, is he trying to say that he's been tolerant to what Aubameyang's been doing since he's been there? Has he been giving Aubameyang that leeway where he's getting away with so much murder, whether it's being late or whatever, and it's just got to the stage now where okay, you're not really performing and hitting those goals, can I still be tolerant towards you making these mistakes and not behaving the way I expect you to and upholding a certain standards while being captain? I think that's the way I look at it. But obviously, I'm not there. I can't just 100% say that is what it is. What I'm hoping for is when this documentary comes out, things can be a little more clear. That's what I'm hoping for. I'm hoping because you will see certain aspects of what goes through the day-to-day life, and I can then.
You don't think that before the documentary comes out that Arsenal are gonna proper like be very, very clean?
They will clean a lot of it, but I still think you will be able to gauge certain things.
Enough. Chiddy.
Yeah, I agree with you, Kesh. Like, to be honest, what has Aubameyang done last 12, 18 months? He's been generally terrible. Like, let's just be honest. He's had a lot of issues, a lot of extenuating circumstances, yes, but on the whole, his performances haven't been good enough, especially considering he's on 350k a week. He's our supposed talisman best player. He's supposed to be the one elevating the team, supposed to be the one shining above, even when the rest of the team's not doing their thing. He should be the one who's like, okay, at least he's playing, he's trying to inspire on. He shouldn't be one of the worst in the team, which was what he was, like, pretty much. I'd say about 60%, 65% of the time, he was one of the worst players in the 11. So I don't really have much sympathy for Aubameyang in this sense. Like, I actually agree with what Arteta has done with him. I think I saw a video as well where Arteta was talking about, if a player is scoring 25, 30 goals a season, then there's certain things you can sort of, like, a manager might let go certain things. But obviously in this case, Aubameyang's not scoring that anymore. He's not playing to that level he was before the contract. So I think we were right to discipline him. Like, he has to stand in line with the rest of the squad, and he's not been a good example. So yeah, I was happy to wash my hands with him, to be honest.
Jules?
Very interesting opinions, just because I'm a bit on the fence with this one, just because, again, like Kesh said, we're not there. We don't actually know how he said it or whatever. Obviously, we've got to wait for the all-in or it to come out in it. But it's more like, I get it, but it felt like it was only one player being singled out for majority of the things that happen. Yes, we don't know what goes on in the change rooms, blah, 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 but at some point it was all on him. But yeah,
that's the thing with Arteta.
I don't know if I'm just like that diehard fan that loved him off, but I genuinely think that it got to the point where it just looked unfair towards the end. Like, it just got uglier and uglier. Yeah, we get it. He had whatever, and he should have been scoring more, etc. But I genuinely think Arteta is just a dictator, and he's very to himself, and he thinks he's always right. So yeah, it could have been dealt with better. I genuinely think.
Arteta is a very, very selective like bad boy, because if you're gonna be a dictator, you have to use this like rule with an iron fist. You have to use it for everyone. But example, that Xhaka gets away with murder. Do you get what I mean? And he always manages to find his way back into the team.
That's my point.
Thing is with Xhaka though is like what has he done stuff that's like all the stuff he's done has been on the pitch.
That's worse.
That's worse than you can see.
I mean, that's worse.
Like, you can see that he's done wrong, and then you're still gonna let him come back into the team just for doing stupid things. Like, the biggest thing was telling the fans to F off on that, and then you begged him to come back.
That's wild, you know.
That's wild. That was wild to me.
The thing is, that is wild, but what you have to understand is he wasn't the manager while that situation took place. I think if he was, it would have been a lot different. He came in and he gave everyone a new leaf. You know what I mean? He said, you know what, fresh start. And that's why I think Xhaka was brought back into the team. And it's not as if I know I don't like Xhaka. He's one of the first players I want out. But when I look at it, I do see that he does bring something to the team. No one can look past and say he doesn't bring anything to the team. It's just that when he gets his bozo moments, and it happens far too many times, he lets us down. So now it's just about replacing him. When you see the rumors that Rome is still coming in for him, I've said from the summer. I don't think that contract was to do with him being here long term. I think they look at Xhaka and they think the guy's not a bad footballer. In that Serie A team, I think he goes up a level in that league. 100%. You start looking at Xhaka and you're thinking, bro, he can do a lot. He's doing what we expect him to do. Then you're gonna look back at it in hindsight, and you think we should have got more than 15 mil for him, because that's what they was trying to offer us. They was trying to rip us off. So I think it's just protect the value, go against Summer, and you probably get 20, 25 mil for him.
Chiddy, you said something like, okay, and I think Kesh, I think you agreed with Chiddy a little bit, saying, Arteta's only been strict with people who've had like a bit of a mix-up off the pitch. Yeah. What did Pepe do off the pitch?
But what has Arteta done to Pepe though?
You think Pepe's treatment's been fair?
Yeah.
Oh, you think it's...
Bro, I watched, the Palace game. I think that was the last game he started for us.
Yeah.
He was.
Bear in mind, Pepe is like the record fee signing. You know, I'm not saying play. I'm just trying to disprove the point.
Okay, I'm just saying. Okay, so first of all, Pepe is not a good player. All right, let's just
get facts.
Facts. Okay, I think he's been given enough chances. Like, especially like start of this season, he was starting games and stuff, and he was a liability. Let's just be honest. He was a liability. He was giving the ball away. He wasn't helping us in terms of like just the overall play and build up and everything, because he's such a loose cannon in a sense, because you don't know what you're going to get from him. Sometimes he'll do something brilliant, but then the rest of the time he'll like have bad touches, he'll give the ball away, he'll just make bad decisions, and he just wasn't helping the team. So I think he was taken out of the team. Like he's been benched ever since pretty much. Okay, I think sometimes he should have been brought on as a sub. Sometimes I thought it was a bit weird that he's been like an unused sub, but overall I don't think he's been treated like horribly, to be honest. I feel like it's just been normal. The most innocent player I can think of is probably Maitland-Niles, but his mum was moving mad. That one was a weird one. That one was a weird one. Like,
it's not him.
Like, that whole situation was a bit weird to me. Like the whole like when he posted on Instagram as well, and then he came back for a bit, and then he didn't play again. That whole thing was. I don't get it, to be honest.
I think Arteta's mad with everyone, but I hear if you're trying to draw similarities in like all the people he's been not treated well, you can say they've had a little bit of altercations off the pitch, but either way, I think it's still poor man management.
No, there is aspects of his managerial ability where he's got to work on, but from the moment I knew he was coming in, that's the difference between me and a lot of Arsenal fans. I think they looked at him and think, yeah, he's a manager, so he's just going to be a manager. He's going to get everything right. I looked and I think, yes, Arsenal's not the club where a manager should be coming and learning on a job. We shouldn't be. But that is our reality, and you have to look at it and be open mind to it. It's either they sack him or he stays there and he continues on his journey. And hopefully over the next, say, season, I think summer is our biggest window. Hopefully we get those players in and he continues learning, because yes, he's made mistakes still this season, but a lot of the mistakes that he made last season, he hasn't made this season. So you can see that there is small improvements. It's not going to be an overnight thing. I know when a lot of Arsenal fans compare the likes of Klopp to how he built Liverpool. Klopp, he had the formula because he's been an experienced manager.
The season manager,
years. Yeah. Arteta has not been a manager, so he's still trying to gain that experience to get to a level where you can see some form of consistency in everything that he does, consistency with his decisions, consistency with his how he sets the team up and everything, and then hopefully you see a major progress where he can look and say, you know what, cool, now we've hit that mark. Now let's see if we can be competitive for a full season, and I think we can get there.
Whilst everybody's in the building, all the new people checked in, guys, smash the like button, as I say. How cringy. Hit the like button, subscribe, all of that stuff, all of the housekeeping stuff. I hope I'm doing well, Banks, because he's texting me saying make sure you make everyone subscribe so they get off my back and they pay me this week for doing this. Jules, what do you think in terms of Arteta's treat? Your little boyfriend Pepe, he's in like a
don't do that. No, I get what you guys are saying. Obviously, over the time, you can generally see what kind of player he is. And yeah, I've seen in the comments like people saying he's a bench player. I get that. But what Chiddy was saying, like sometimes it's just weird where it's like the sub, you'd be thinking you've got a winger on the bench, but you'd rather bring on a striker, and you're like, why are you doing this? Do you get what I mean? Again, obviously he could be frustrated with Pepe, like a lot of people are. Yeah. What's wrong with you? Look at people in the comments now, like. But yeah, it's weird. It's a weird one. I don't know. I just feel like I just can't. There's just something I can't shake off for Arteta, and it's built up because I genuinely was Arteta in for a long time because I was like, I'm going to give him a chance. Again, he hasn't been a manager before, so this is him learning. But there's only so much learning you can do, and you can see where this is going. He's not going to leave, most likely. They're most likely going to give him a new contract. So I just genuinely think we just got to get on with it. But yeah, I just think the way he treats players, it's just he's got certain energy for certain players and not for others. Personally,
The thing is, though, the way he treats players is that, like, have you actually fallen out with any good players? Like, as in good at this point?
At what, when they're at their peak?
As in, not at their peak, as in, like, at the point where they fell out. Like, did he fall out with anyone who was like, oh, damn, like, I wish we still had him? Or, like, anyone who was actually, like, in the starting 11? The only argument you could say is probably Guendouzi, but even he wasn't really, like, he wasn't really.
I hear you. Aubameyang is probably the most significant one, but he wasn't firing when they fell out. To be fair, no, because all the people that are firing for Arsenal are the kids, and the kids.
And you got people like Saliba, who we still don't understand.
The Saliba situation is still very weird to me, and I don't think Saliba's playing when he comes.
I think we've got to wait that one out, but.
But why are we waiting that one out? What was the issue in the first place?
To be honest, I actually don't think there's an issue.
I just think it's a managerial. I think it's a managerial decision, and I know it's easy to. You know what happened to us? We got a centre back that was labelled the Mbappes of centre backs, and because of the situation we was in, where we had the likes of Mr. Staffy and guys like those, it's like we just want to throw Saliba in. We want to depend on him, and this is a player who hasn't played a. You know, when you look at a player, you say you're a seasoned veteran. You've played a full season. You've got it under your belt. When you go through a season, you've got your team meetings. The manager sets out the objectives.
Yeah.
They assess it mid-season. You say, all right, this is where we are, lads. We've just got this last push to meet our targets. Get to the end of the season. He's like, well done, lads. You've done what I needed to do. He's not experienced that. He's played 16 games over 2 seasons when we bought him. And this is
I agree with you though, but the second season was the second when we sent him back the other time. That was bad. We should have brought him back this season. He should have been playing. This season he should have. Yeah. I'm not mad at this. I'm not mad at when we sent him back. Not all the time.
No, but you see, I'm on the other end of it, because even that season, I think he played 12 games or something like that. He got injured. You know what I mean? So he never quite hit the mark where he's playing. This season, you've seen what he's doing. He's playing week in, week out. Yeah. He's got accountability because he's played. He's the most vital player in that team.
I think Fofana played around the same amount of games.
I'm pretty sure when we bought Saliba, he had played more games than Gabriel in top flight football.
And so Fofana.
I'm pretty sure he had played a lot.
Gabriel has played. He's played in Russia, I think. Was it Ukraine? Gabriel had a lot of senior experience before that. And the difference between when we can't compare ourselves to Leicester. I know they've been better or had a better trajectory over the last few years or whatever, but this is Arsenal Football Club. We've seen the way rivals react to when our players come in, they don't do well, all this. The spotlight, the magnitude of the outrage when it comes to our players is different to what you're going to get at Leicester. I've seen Fofana and Mears last season, but it doesn't get highlighted the way it would have done if he was an Arsenal player. So he's got that ability to continue focus on his development without getting slandered.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, no,
but
I
if
agree.
Ben might, sorry, Chiddy, go on.
Oh yeah, I was just gonna say what we screwed up was last season when he had 6 months where he was literally not playing at all. That's when we screwed up, because that should have been either. I thought we should have played him because see, considering we kind of used that season as sort of like we threw away that season.
Yeah,
basically.
there was nothing to it.
We didn't play for anything. Like it was sort of just okay. Like we screwed up. So I feel like he should have been playing then because at least if we're gonna screw up, we might as well screw up with the kids and let him grow and stuff like that. So if he wasn't gonna play for us, we should have loaned him out start of the season, give him the full season. So either way, we just screwed up his development a little bit in that sense.
But this is why why I said earlier, like we're not really there, so I can't really say anything. Because on the other hand, I've heard rumors that he had a loan already agreed in the summer to go to, is it Rennes or whatever, or Nice, and they was kind of like playing him off, like, and they delayed it till it just collapsed. Then we're left in a situation where I think he could have gone Brentford, I think, or something like that. But the club was like, do you really want to send it to Brentford? So obviously that's just another thing where the recruitment is just not quite right at the moment. And this is one of the things why when he first came in, I said it's not really the perfect situation for a novice coach. Like if you want a novice coach to come in, you've got to add that good structure where you got the recruitment who's on point. They get everything done nice, perfect, and early, and you just focus on doing what you're doing on the field. And that didn't turn out to be that way.
I hear you. If Saliba comes back, just quick one. What are you playing? Back three, back four? Who sits? Jules, I'll start with you.
I don't know, you know.
You could be rash. You could be, even though you ain't seen Saliba play like that, you could be rash. You could use the Twitter comps. Don't worry.
I don't watch Twitter comps. Don't do that.
No, I'm putting Saliba. Me personally, Saliba starting.
Yeah, he's starting.
I'll play a 3 or Saliba starts with Gabriel.
I think a back four.
Mm-hmm.
I think a back four.
So keep it as it is, or Saliba comes in.
Oh man, I don't know. Saliba probably comes in, you know? But then again, I haven't seen him. Oh, I don't know.
Chiddy.
I'd be extra, probably put Saliba in there.
Like to be honest, I'm gonna see how this rest of the season goes in terms of
Yeah,
if our defense just keeps on going like the way it has been.
Wouldn't change it,
I wouldn't change it because why should we change it just because of our shiny new toys here? Like
yeah,
it's solid. If it's solid, like we shouldn't change it. We have Saliba who can rotate in. He can play centre back. He can play right back in our system because he can do that Tomiyasu role. Like it's an ideal player to have, and it will improve our depth massively. And he can come in if we're in Europe as well. He'll come in. He'll start some games, but like there's no reason to change our first team if it's already solid. So yeah.
Okay.
Listen, I'm the person who I think if you play well, you keep your shirt. That's the way it should be. It's not. I'm not going to stand players. We live in a generation now where early 2000 there wasn't no standing of players. I've never experienced that. Nowadays, it's my player or no player. Agendas. I'm not about it. If White's playing well and he's outperforming either Gabriel or Saliba, he starts. The next person partners him. If White's not playing well and Saliba's doing his thing, Saliba starts. Simple as. We need depth. Man City's got depth. Whoever's performing or playing, they start. That's the way it should be. That's how you breed success and competition because everyone wants to challenge each other. We've gone far too long as a football club where we've had a starting 11 or whatever, and then you've got bit part players happy to just collect their paychecks and sit on a bench. We don't need that anymore.
You know what it is as well is that I feel like a lot of Arsenal fans are scared of having too many good players as well. Because
bruv.
We've been starved. That's what it is. We've been starved.
We've been starved because even like now, say, you know, like there's a bit of competition between Martinelli and Smith Rowe for the left wing. And like I've seen the way people have been like, oh, we need to get both of them in. Like we need to change our formation. No, we don't need to change our formation. If it's been working, why should we just try and fit everyone in? Like you can't fit all your favorites in. Let's have some players you have on the bench. Like you see how City can rotate 5 or 6 players in and out and it's still like the top quality, like 11. That's what we need to be able to aspire into so that we're not like reliant on having the same players playing every week. So people shouldn't be scared of having multiple players.
We're sentimental fans, man. We love, like when I clocked with sentimental fans is when some Arsenal fans were saying, oh, don't get rid of Iwobi or don't get rid of Chamberlain Like when we're having all these, like when people are about to leave, we're always like, oh, don't worry, they could still be good. People saying, oh, let's get Jack Wilshere back. Now we're sentimental fans. We won't do anything to win. But just quickly, because we're running out of time, the match is going to kick off in about 15. I wanted to quickly get you guys' reaction in terms of the window. Were you as mad as some of it? Because there was a lot of Twitter spaces. There was a lot of Twitter spaces for the next 3 days after deadline day. And some of the man them were there. No names. Some of the man them were there. Cool. Were you guys as angry at the whole Aubameyang thing or Arsenal's window, or is it something where you're gonna know if this was a good and a smart window from Arsenal, but in the summer? What do you think, Kesh?
As a fan, I'm fuming. But as a club, and obviously I've said for a very long time, this club needs to stop co-signing what fans want. Because when we co-sign what fans want, that's where it goes wrong. We've done the same thing with Aubameyang. I know a lot of you lot won't agree with me, but I said it from before we even played that FA Cup that we won. I said Aubameyang should not get a new contract. Because I see the way football's going. Like, it's not about having just individuals or players that just scoring goals. You need a team of 11. You know what I mean? That's how efficient. That's how you become fully efficient. You know, and when we're offering him that sort of money, and then now, whether it's the manager's system not suiting him or Aubameyang just not quite being at the level that he used to be, which I think it is that, because we've seen him miss chances that Aubameyang would bury. You know what I mean? It's a thing where you've just obviously you can't gauge it until the summer. If we finish top 4, then you're gonna say, you know what, well done. Like, you lot done your thing, you know what I mean? If we don't, then you're gonna look back in hindsight, you're gonna say, nah, we should have got a striker, which I think if we had got Dusan, I think he fires us to the Champions League. I think he could have had that effect that Bruno came in and gave Man United, just goals, gets you over the line. Obviously it didn't happen. But what you wouldn't have wanted Arsenal to go and do is go and get a striker who's going to be a bit part player where you just think, we need to offload him next summer, the season after. The other thing where we had Arthur Melo, Edu's already agreed, he's signed off on it. He's saying, right, we'll agree to your 2-year deal plus the 40 mil obligation. Bro, if Arthur Melo comes in and he doesn't bang, then in the summer you can't address the centre mid. Because you've got this guy here who now you're going to have to buy. It's like Tottenham. You see Lo Celso. Bro, they had the obligation. They went and signed him.
All for business.
Now their old fan base want him out. You don't want that situation where it disrupts your old plans for the summer. And listen, I think Arsenal's got a great platform right now with all the money that we've taken off. And I know people throw that dig of saving FC. I get it. It's a bit of banter. I get it. But
yeah.
We've created a platform now where the squad's clean. Like, these players, bro, we've had Chambers for 7 years.
Yeah, the squad that is cleaned up now. It's a perfect.
It's cleaned up.
If you're on FM, this is like a perfect platform, a perfect canvas.
Now you've got a slim squad. The squad's slim. You've got to start in 11. Now it's just about adding that quality that takes you to another level where you look, and when you play teams, they can say that's the danger man. They've got one danger man there. They've got another danger man there. You know what I mean? And Arsenal ain't had that since the likes of Alex Sanchez. I know Saka and Martinelli, they're on the right trajectory, and I think they can get to a level where you think that's a great player, but they're still learning. We need to add some players who are senior, who's probably a lot more better finishing, that they can take some, some weight off their shoulders. You know what I mean? And I think we can do it in the summer.
Okay. Chiddy, what do you think about this transfer window? And do you think it's like people would be reactionary, or we'll find out in summer if it was a good one?
Yeah, like at first I was pretty pissed off. Like, I feel like the initial sort of the fact that we just got rid of so many players and didn't bring a single one in, it felt like, wow, like, are we just self-sabotaging? But then when you like really like look at it and like look at the players we actually got rid of, like a lot of the players.
What did you say? Okay.
Fair enough. A lot of the players are like they're bit part players. Even like this season, they haven't been playing at all. So, and with playing one game a week now, we don't really need many players at all. Yes, we always have a bit of bad luck with injuries. You know, it's Arsenal, isn't it? Like, that's always a possibility. But like, I feel like we have enough players in terms of like quantity quality, different issue. I feel like our depth is really lacking. I feel like we definitely should have. I feel like if I understand what you said, Kesh, about like no short-termism and stuff like that. I think a lone striker could have been ideal. Just get someone in for 6 months, just to like a bit more like just solidity up top. Someone who can just move about a bit, score a few goals, can get us over the line, and still not be like a detriment long term as well. That would have been ideal. Maybe that deal wasn't really on the market. I know there was
I think they was looking at Jovic, but then Karim Benzema got injured, didn't he? So kind of ruined it for us.
Yeah. So I don't think it probably wasn't really there, and I'm just happy we didn't panic and go spend like 75 million on Isaac or whatever, because that would just. I mean, I thought he would have flopped in the Premier League, like at least in his first season, like he wouldn't have got anything.
I'm not convinced on the Isaac thing. I feel like the only thing I like in some is we didn't get Vlahovic, but a new striker always pops up within the next 12 to 18 months. So hopefully we're on the money with that one rather than panic and get Isaac, because I'm not convinced. I don't watch him enough, but I'm just not convinced. I don't know, just something in my stomach.
I think you know what, for me, I think he's a good player. I think he's got ability. I think the boy's got ability, but like I said, like we need to stop overpaying. Like we done it with Pepe. You know what I mean? We paid 72 mil. When you look at the scouting report that Bayern put out there, we didn't do a due diligence. We just got a player because the hype was there and the fans wanted him, you know? I think it was not last season before, I read a long report. It was like 5 pages, from AFC Bell, the release. And it was like Raul Sanelli put out there that he was watching social media, engaging how the fans was reacting from that Pepe signing or who they wanted. And that's why they ended up going for Pepe and things like that. So, you know what I mean? Like, the club just can't co-sign what fans
you have to have footballing man at the top.
Yes, there you go.
Just quickly, just do some quick match talk. We got 10 minutes, but we'll get off in 5 so everyone can go do what they need to do before the match. The aim for the season, I guess for me, it's top 4 or bust. If we come 5th, if we come 6th, it's not good enough. I feel like Arteta has to go. But guys, what are you expecting from this Molineux game? This game at Molineux, what do you expect, Chiddy?
I feel like it's going to be a dead game. I can't lie. I feel like Wolves are a very good defensive team. Not great going forward, but like they're very good defensively, like solid midfield as well. Obviously, we've been a bit struggling for goals. I say recently, we've hardly played recently, but like in 2021, we've only scored like 1 goal. And like maybe confidence is a bit down in terms of our attacking play. But we've had a break. We've had all our players back. It's kind of hard to tell how we're going to play because some teams come out from a break firing, ready to go. Some teams come out very sluggish, and like you can tell that they've not played in a while. So it's very hard to gauge how we're going to play. But I don't think it's going to be a classic. I feel like it's going to be like a 1 goal either way sort of thing, or a draw. Yeah.
Kesh.
Listen, they've been very solid. I think they're very good in the press. I feel it's going to be a very cagey game. I think it's going to be tight. I don't think it's going to be a walkover, even if we are playing at our very best. I'm looking to probably be a 1-0 either team. I think the key to this game will be the likes of Odegaard getting in behind the 2 midfielders, which then inevitably will draw out one of the centre-backs, because as a 3, you can't just defend 1 striker. You've got to go out and pick your man up, you know? And hopefully with Martinelli making those runs into the channels or in behind the centre-backs, we can kind of disrupt the defensive line. Also, I don't really feel they've played many direct wingers over the course of the season. When you look at in the league, there's not many direct wingers. I think Martinelli is very direct, and I do feel he will have a go at their defence. Semedo, I know we talk about Cedric. I think Semedo is in the same category as Cedric.
Oh, come on.
Jimmy's boy.
I think they're both in the same. I think you can get at them. He's a lot better than Cedric, but what I'm saying, they can be hot at, you know? And I feel it will be a good battle. Prudence will have the upper hand against the likes of Cedric, and I think Martinelli can have the upper hand against Semedo. So that's where I think we can win the game. And also, not to forget, like, over the January games that we've played, we haven't had the Shakas and the Parties to play.
Yeah.
In terms of giving us that
solidity.
that solidity and that complete presence in midfield where we're on the ball. Hopefully we can push them back and play at least 60-70% in their own half, you know, hopefully.
Okay, fair enough. My thing is this: I'll just win, because after it's one of them games, you just need to win, and they've set us up. They've proper shafted us with this one, making us last with Liverpool. At least Liverpool's playing. Normally they'll just put the lights on Arsenal, and you know that's when we fold. But I feel like we just have to win. I'm sure tactics goes out. We just literally have to win here because we can't keep slipping. Banks said it as well. He says it all the time. The top four is always a race to the bottom, and we can't make it like this year. I think it's a very easy window to get. It's very attainable. Spurs losing. We're level on points with Spurs and like no games in hands and all that stuff. But like we can catch. We can even we should look up rather than looking at top four. So race to Chelsea, I guess, as cliche. But I feel like, pardon?
Need to dig deep.
Yeah, we need to. Thank you. That's the English I'm looking for. Thank you. We need to dig deep and say that and just win by any means. Guys, just quickly, I was gonna say, if we don't, big if, and hopefully we do. If we don't make top four and we come fifth and we make a bit of a battle of it, would you give Arteta more time? Quickly.
Personally,
go on.
I think with context, I would because I know we can look at the circumstances, and at the start of the season, I didn't expect top four. I said we're in for a top 6, top 5, get back in Europa League. Mm-hmm. But with circumstances and the way Man United is not performing, other teams are not performing, and I will say that we've probably been the best at kind of picking up form in terms of going on like a 4 or 5 game run. We've probably been the best out of the lot. So if we're there and around it come the end of the season, maybe 2 points off, 1 point off, and I see progression where we're actually going into games like the Man City and we're actually playing well, I can then say, you know what, you're showing me something man can move with, you know what I mean? But if it's a thing where we just have a shambolic end to the season, then you've got to go.
Yeah. Chiddy, quickly.
Yeah, I agree. It is all about context and how we do like challenge for the top 4. And if you have to basically look at it and say, is it just the quality of the players that let him down, or is it the manager and his tactics and everything like that? That's the problem. And I feel like, you have to look at it as not just a pure, we got 4th, that's good. We got 5th, that's not good enough. Get about, like, it has to be contextual. So if I've seen a real proper challenge, and I can see that if we buy a player here, we're elevated, we're gonna be top 3, we could maybe even challenge for the title eventually. Like, then I'll be like, okay, Arteta, yes, we'll give you more time. But if we're just like well off the pace, tactics are all wrong, we're getting outplayed, then go.
Fair enough. Guys, I'm gonna free you because everyone's eyes are on the clock. I'm getting notifications about the match. But guys, for those of you who tuned in for the first time, thanks for tuning in. Hope you smash the like button, subscribe to all the TF3 stuff. We've got basically a Man United version of this. What's Man United's one called, Jules? I should know this off head. Can't remember, but yeah, anyway. Banks hosts a Man United one of this as well, so stay tuned in for that. Yeah. And basically enjoy the match today. Kesh, big up you for coming. Chiddy, thanks for coming. Always a pleasure, you guys. And we'll get you on for a longer one. We just wanted to get a quick one in before the match because we need this dosage. We don't know if we're going to be licking our wounds after, but yeah. Guys, thanks for coming. Appreciate it. Peace and stay blessed, I guess.
Peace.
You are now listening to The Final Third.
I think Pepe's so comfortable.
You should be in,
just need to shake him.
You should be in prison. We bailed you out. We bailed you out to come and play this season. You're out here disgracing us.